Hello students, I am Sir Glenn, your subject teacher. Welcome to General Mathematics, Grade 11. Our third lesson is all about operations on functions. For us to master operations on functions, kailangan nating i-recall yung basic knowledge natin sa algebra about simplifying expressions, special products, and the factoring techniques. Operations on functions. So basically, there are 4 operations and 1 special operation. So syempre, those are the 4 basic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And the special operation is the composition of functions. Let f and g be functions. Their sum, denoted by f plus g, is defined by f plus g of x is equal to f of x plus g of x. Their difference, denoted by f minus g, is defined by f minus g of x is equal to f of x minus g of x. Their product, denoted by f dot g, is defined by f dot g of x is equal to f of x times g of x. Their quotient, denoted by f all over g, is defined by f all over g of x is equal to f of x all over g of x, excluding of course the values of x where g of x is equal to 0. So as you can observe, when we are asked to get the sum, we simply add the two functions. Kapag ang kinukuha ay ang difference, pinagsusubtract lang natin yung dalawang functions. If we are asked to get the product, syempre we multiply the two functions. At kapag kinukuha yung quotient, we divide the two functions. Examples. Given the functions f of x is equal to 3x minus 1 and g of x is equal to x squared plus 5x minus 2, find their sum, f plus g of x, and their difference, f minus g of x. For the solution, watch this video. So how do we add and how do we subtract functions? Okay, so here it is. Given the function f of x is equal to 3x minus 1 and g of x which is equal to x squared plus 5x minus 2, we have to find their sum and their difference. So how do we do that? Here. First one, we have f plus g of x. What is the formula for this? We have f of x. Napansin niyo, in getting the sum of the two functions, here's the formula. We just add the two functions. Okay? We have 3x minus 1. This is the function f, then plus 5x. So after that, we combine similar terms. Si x squared ba, may kapareho pa ba siya na x squared sa ating na-compute? Wala. So, we bring down x squared. And then si 3x, may kapareho siya which is 5x. 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. The negative 1, that is. Okay, so that means the sum of f and g is equivalent to x squared. For the difference, we have f minus of x is equal to, of course, f of x minus g of. So take note, kapag ang kinukuha ay difference, we enclose this one, the value of this one, using parentheses. Okay? Kasi meron siyang negative symbol here. Kailangan siyang i-distribute. Okay? So f of x is 3x minus 1. Then g of x is x squared plus 5x minus. So anong napansin ninyo, as I said earlier, kapag subtraction, yung nasa dulo, we always enclose the terms of that function using parentheses kasi kailangan pang i-distribute sa negative symbol here. We bring down 3x minus 1 yan na merong 1 sa gilid. Okay? So, negative 1 times x squared is negative x squared. Negative 1 times 5x is negative 5x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive. So, combining similar terms, we have wala ka para sa negative x squared, we simply bring down negative x squared. Then, 3x at si negative 5x ay pareho. Similar terms sila. So, 3x minus 5x is negative 2x. This is 2. And then, negative 1 plus 2, both are constant terms, so we can combine them. Negative 1 plus 2 is positive. So that means the difference between function f and function g is equivalent to x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay? For our second example, given the functions p of x is equal to x squared minus 3x plus 5 and g of x which is equal to x minus 2, find their product. For the solution, watch this video. How do we multiply functions? So it goes this way. So given function p of x is equal to x squared minus 3x plus 5 and g of x is equal to x minus 2, we find their product. Us to know the steps in dividing functions kasi among the 4 basic operations, when we are dealing with functions, ito ang pinakamahirap. Why? Kasi it involves factoring techniques. It involves cancellation. So kapag hindi natin naintindihan yung mga bagay na yon, may hirapan tayong intindihin, may hirapan tayong mag-divide ng dalawang functions. So the first step, identify common factors between the numerator and then the denominator. So, ma-identify natin yan kapag alam nating i-factor out yung numerator at ang ating denominator. Then, divide common factors which will yield a quotient of 1. In short, kapag may nakita ka na magkaparehong factors doon sa numerator at kay denominator, we can cancel them immediately. The remaining factors will be the quotient when the two functions are divided. If there is no common factor between the numerator and the denominator, just simplify your answer. So what do I mean doon sa simplify your answer? Write your answer, your final answer in factored form para makita agad na simplified version na siya. Wala nang pwedeng i-cancel. Okay? Example for dividing functions. Divide f of x is equal to x squared minus 5x plus 6 by g of x is equal to x squared minus 9. So So for the solution, watch this video.
This is the example in how to divide functions. Okay, so divide f of x, which is equivalent to x squared minus 5x plus 6, and g of x, which is equivalent to x squared minus 9. Okay, so we have f of x, or let's say f all over g of x, then here written as f of x divided by g of x. Okay, let's substitute the value of f of x, which is x squared minus 5x plus 6, and then g of x, which is x squared minus. So how do we come up with the quotient? As much as possible, we identify the factors of the numerator and the factors of the denominator to identify which factors are cancelable or can be cancelled. Okay? So alin ba sa mga factors ng numerator and denominator ang pwedeng i-cancel? Okay? So the factors of this one, we have of course, yung x, kung binuha yung x, factors yan ni first term, which is x squared. And then factors of 6, we have 3 and positive 2. Since negative yung sign nun, and then positive ito, that means both of these numbers have sign. Okay? Then x squared minus 9, I've shown this one in our previous example. The factors of this one are x minus 3 and x plus 3. So as you can see, pareho silang may x minus 3 at x minus 3. Remove. So ang naiwan, we have x minus 2 over x. So that means the quotient of the two functions f and g is x minus 2 all over x plus 3. Okay?
That's it for the operations and functions. For the activity, do activity 4 on page 17 in your notebook. Again, the submission of all outputs will be on Friday. Let's proceed in the special operation, which is the composition of functions. Paano ba natin gawin yung special operation na to? Parang bago lang sa ating pandinig. Okay, so the composition of function denoted by f circle g is defined by f circle g is equal to f of g of x. So anong napansin ninyo? Ang input value natin ay hindi na constant term kundi another function. So ang pinapasok natin sa ating naunang function ay yung pangalawang function. As you can see, yung g ay nasa dulo. So ibig sabihin, kung ano yung nasa dulo, yun parati yung pinapasok natin doon sa variable nung nasa unahan. This means that f of x is composed of the function g of x. In other words, the variable x in f of x will be replaced by the value of g of x. Yung entire function g, yung pinapasok natin doon sa x ni function f. Okay? Examples. Given functions f, g, and h, we evaluate the following: f of 2, f of g of x, g circle f of x, and f circle h of x. For the solutions, watch this video.
So how do we do composition of functions? So here are the examples. So given functions f, g, and h, we evaluate f of 2, f of g of x, g circle f of x, and f circle h of x. So let's do example number 1. So madali lang yan kasi ang isa-substitute lang naman natin ay constant term, which is 2. So papalitan lang natin si x ng 2. We have f of 2 is equal to 3 times 2 plus 2. So that is 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is answer for number 1 is A. The second example, we have f of g of x. So as you can see, ang isa-substitute natin ngayon sa x ni f ay yung entire function g. Okay, so ano yung function g? Function g is 4x squared. Ito ngayon yung isa-substitute natin kay x. So this will be 3 times the value, which is 4x squared. Then we bring down positive, which is coming positive. So multiplying this one, we have 3 plus 4 is 12. X squared plus 2. Since wala na tayong pwedeng i-combine, since naka lowest term na ito, we have, this is the answer already. F of g of x is equivalent to 12x squared plus 2. Okay? For the third example, we have g circle f of x. So this can be written as g of f of x. So as you can see, function composition, it is read as g circle f. Kung ano yung nasa dulo, which is f, yan yung magiging input function natin. Understood? So, we have, what is the value of f here? The value of f is 3x plus. So, ito ngayon, yung isa-substitute natin doon sa x ni g, which is this one. Understood? So, we have 4 times 3x plus 2 squared. This is the same as 4 times 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2. How do we multiply again binomials? Lahat ng terms dito, dapat ma-multiply natin sila sa lahat ng terms doon sa pangalawa. Okay? So, kabila. Copy 4. Then we have 3 times 3x. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times 2 is 6x. 2 times 3x is positive 6x. And then 2 times 2 is positive. So combining similar terms here, we have copy 4. Then we bring down 9x squared since wala naman siyang kapareho ng may x squared. We combine 6x and 6x since these are similar terms. 6 plus 6 is positive 12. Then we have fixed x. Then we bring down positive 4. Afterwards, since nakasimplify na yung nasa loob ng parenthesis, pwede na natin i-distribute si 4 sa lahat ng terms doon. Okay, so 4 times 9x squared, we have 36x squared. 4 times 12x, we have 48x. And then 4 times 4, we have positive 16. So therefore, our answer for this composition, the composition of G and F, is equivalent to 36x squared plus 48x plus 16. For the last example, number 4, we have f circle h of x. So ano yung input function natin? Our input function is h. Why? Kasi siya yung nasa dulo. Understood? F of h of x. So this is equivalent. What is the value of h here? H is equivalent to x minus 6. Yun o, x minus 6. So yan ngayon, yung isa-substitute natin sa x ni f. So we have 3, then we copy this one, x minus 6, then we copy positive 2. Distributing 3 here to all the terms of the binomial, we have 3 times x is 3x, 3 times negative 6 is negative 18, then we bring down positive 2. So since pwede pang combine yung dalawang constants, we combine them. Okay? Negative 18 plus 2 is equivalent to negative 16. So since simplified na siya, that is already our answer. So the composition of f and h is equivalent to 3x minus that's how we do composition of two functions.
That's it for the composition of functions for the activity. Do activity 5 on page 19 in your notebook. Again, the submission of all outputs will be on Friday. Let's proceed in our last topic for the first module, functions in real-life situations. So, for the information of everybody, isa ang function sa may pinaka visible na usefulness sa ating pang-araw-araw na buhay. Hindi man siya kapansin-pansin at first glance, but if we will analyze that very carefully, if we will concentrate, malaman natin, function pala ito. Okay? Functions can often be used to model situations. Identifying an appropriate functional model will lead to a better understanding of various phenomena. Examples. Example number 1. Give a function c that can represent the cost of buying X meals if one meal costs 40 pesos. Okay? So, for the solution, let c of x be the cost of buying meals and let x be the number of meals. So, ang isang meal daw ay nagkakahalaga ng 40 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, kung bibili ka lang ng isa, ang presyo niya ay 40. Paano kapag ang bibilihin mo ay 2? Paano kapag yung number of meals natin, which is x, ay dalawa? So, 2 times 40 is 80. Paano kapag 5 na si x? If x is 5, then ang babayaran natin na cost ng meals ay 5 times 40 is 200. That means our function will be c of x is equal to 40 times x. Okay, minomultiply natin yung presyo ng meal doon sa bilang ng meals na binibili natin. Understood? For the second example, John has purchased 4 pounds of rice from the market for 20 pesos. Determine the function that defines the cost of the rice based on its weight. So, solution, let r of x be the cost of buying rice, then let x be the number of pounds of rice. So, tinatanong dyan, magbigay daw tayo ng function na nagbibigay ng cost ng rice na bibilhin natin base sa kung ilang pounds ang binili natin. Okay, so paano natin malalaman yun? Hindi naman na nakalagay dyan, hindi naman given yung price ng 1 pound ng rice. So let's try to analyze the problem. So si John bumili ng 4 na pounds ng rice for 20 pesos. So ibig sabihin, 20 pesos divided by 4 pounds, we have 5 pesos. So yung 1 pound ng rice ay nagkakahalaga ng 5 pesos. So, ibig sabihin, kung bumili ka ng 8 na pounds ng rice, 8 times 5 is 40. Kapag bumili ka ng 10 pounds ng rice, 10 times 5 is 50. So, that means our answer is r of x is equal to 5x. Okay? For the third example, a carinderia sells lunch for 45 pesos. Identify a function that defines the cost of lunch based on its number. Similar lang siya sa example number 1. So our solution, we let L of x be the cost of buying lunch and x be the number of lunch meal. Okay, kung ilan daw yung binili mo na lunch. So, ang isang lunch, it costs 45 pesos. So, kung bibili ka ng dalawa, 2 times 45 is 90. Kapag bibili ka ng 10, 10 times 45 is 450. So, therefore, our answer will be L of x is equal to 45 times x. Okay? So, that's it for the functions as representations of real-life situations. For the activity, do activity 6 on page 20 in your notebook. Again, the submission of all outputs will be on Friday.